and this is my review for the Tron Legacy Deluxe Class 8-inch line Rinzler figure. I'll go ahead and reiterate what I said about Rinzler in my 3 3/4 inch Rinzler review. I thought he was really awesome. He pulled off some really amazing stunts. He was my favorite character in the movie. I just really liked him. I thought he was an awesome character. And I really like this figure too. It's definitely a lot more impressive than I thought it was going to be. In fact, it's so impressive that I think if you're just going to get one version of Rinzler from the Tron Legacy movie toy line, make it this guy. I do still stand by my statement that overall I think the 3 3/4 inch line of Tron Legacy is better than the 8-inch line, but I think that if you're only going to get one version of Rinzler, get this guy, because this guy's just awesome. I'll get that right out of the way. Very, very nice figure. Very, very nice detailing on this guy. I was really just blown away at the amount of detailing. Let me get my light over here. Just a brilliant detailing on this guy. Just love all the detail in this guy. It's extraordinarily film accurate. It even has the little circles. If you'll recall in the Tron movie, everything that had the consistency of fabric in Tron was made with this kind of circular weave pattern. Now, you kind of saw it when Clue was using those weird Qigong ball type things near the beginning of the movie to control Rinzler, but it's just amazing that they packed in all that detailing. They didn't have to do it, but I'm really, really glad they did, and they just put it everywhere. I mean, they put it on his chest, they even put it on his hip joints, which I think is neat. They even put it on his hands. You can't really see it very well, but they did put the detailing in his hands, which I think is just amazing detail on this guy. I really, really like this guy's detail. In fact, I think if you're a detail junkie, you might want to just skip on the 3 3/4 inch version of this guy and just go for this guy if you're a detail junkie, because this guy is just packed with details. I will say though, I think that the 3 3/4 inch version has the better paint apps, because as you can see, this guy's not very painted at all. He does have these 4 orange dots on his chest. He does have some very, very tiny details on his elbows. He also does have these 2 paint apps on his head, which I'm thinking about removing, because I'm pretty sure in the movie he actually didn't have these, but I'll have to see. He also does have some very, very small paint apps on his knees, some very, very tiny ones on his legs. So overall, especially when compared to the 3 3/4 inch version, you can see that this guy right here is just a lot better painted, but overall I think this guy's a better figure still. I just wish that they had painted it a little bit more, but that's really my only complaint about it. Very, very good articulation on this guy. A lot better than most of the 8-inch line, since he doesn't have the talking gimmick that the rest of them do. He does have a head that rotates left and right. It doesn't go 360, at least well, I should say it can go 360, but it's not meant to. It's really, really tight when you turn it 360. I'm afraid that it's going to break, so I don't think it's meant to go 360. His arms do rotate in and out. They also do go up and down, but they're very, very tight. I'm actually not going to bend them all the way around, because it is very hard to get them back down once they're bent past a certain position, which is kind of a shame, but oh, what are you going to do? They do go in and out. He does have a upper bicep swivel, which is nice. He bends at the elbow. He doesn't bend very far at the elbow, which is a bit of a shame, but oh well. He does rotate at the elbow, which is something that the 3 3/4 inch version of Rinzler lacked. He does have wrists that go that rotate. I wish that they went in and out, which is a bit of a shame, but oh well, what are you going to do? He does have some really crappy hip joints. I will say that right off the bat. That is one of my few complaints about this figure. And it's a complaint I have with the rest of the 8-inch line. I think that these hip joints just were not well done at all. They're on this weird kind of ball joint system. So you can get them to go in and out and a little bit forward and back, but they're really, really limited in terms of their motion, which I think is a real shame. I wish that they had just figured out a way to just do the hips completely differently than any of the 3 3/4 inch figures. I just wish that they had found a better way to do the hips, which is a bit of a shame, but oh, what are you going to do? He does have a upper calf swivel, which I think is nice. He does bend at the knee, which I think is nice. He also does apparently rotate at the knee, but just due to the sculpt, it's very, very hard to get it to rotate very far, which is a bit of a shame, but oh well. His feet do go up and down, which is nice. They do rotate. So you can get some posability out of this guy. The lack of the lack of an ab joint, which is just due to the gimmick, is a bit of a shame, and I really wish that they had found a way to include an ab joint on this guy, but given all the electronics in him, I think that would have been impossible. Which, speaking of which, I guess I'll go ahead and show off his gimmick. I should point out he does have an on and off switch on his back right here, but it's really kind of pointless, because why would you want to turn this guy off unless you wanted to save the batteries? But I usually just leave it on since I don't use the gimmick too terribly often. But anyway, there's a little button right below his armpit right here. And let me go ahead and kill my lights to show it off. It's a very, very cool gimmick. When you press the button, it causes him to light up, and it lights up a lot better than the 3 3/4 inch version. Let me get the 3 3/4 inch version going. Just really, really nice lighting on this guy. He doesn't stay on as long as the 3 3/4 inch version, which I think is a bit of a shame, but oh well, what are you going to do? Very, very cool gimmick. I really, really like that gimmick. I think it's really, really neat. And it's a lot better than the whole talking gimmick, which makes the rest of the 8-inch figures kind of film inaccurate, but still, very, very cool gimmick. Now, as you can see in the background, it does come with a buttload of accessories. It comes with his 2 ID discs, which are very, very nicely detailed. Again, I'm really, really surprised that they didn't paint the outside of it, which was one of my main complaints with the 3 3/4 inch version of this guy. I really wish they had painted the outside of it, which is a bit of a shame, but oh, what are you going to do? Very, very cool detailing on it, though. Very, very nice paint apps. And he can hold these. It is very difficult to get him to hold it, but you can't get him to hold it. This hand, actually, I had him posed with an identity disc before I shot this review, so it goes in a lot better than the right hand, but it still looks fairly cool. And again, I like it a lot better than the weird angle that the 3 3/4 inch versions of these figures have to hold. It's a really, really weird angle on the 3 3/4 inch versions, but on this guy it looks fairly natural, which I think is nice. He does come with his 2 batons, which are very, very nicely painted. I like this kind of charcoal gray that they used on this guy instead of just pure black. I think it looks nice. He does have the little orange paint app just to signify that it is Rinzler's baton. Very, very cool. And he can hold them in his hands like so. They don't fit in as tightly as I would like, but they do still fit in his hand, which I think is kind of neat. He also can take them, and there's a little tab right here on his hip. And you can tab it in. It doesn't tab in very solidly, which I think is a bit of a shame, but oh well. Yeah, like so. And it does look pretty cool. I usually have him displayed with the ID disc and the batons. He also does come with this katana, which again, I'm not really sure why they gave him a katana, because I know in the movie he never used it. I know that Clue didn't use a katana in the movie either, but they seem to like including katanas with Clue. But I'm really not sure why they gave him a katana, but oh well, it is nice that they threw it in. He does also still come with this weird kind of energy bar linked baton system, which I think is kind of weird. I'm not really sure what this is. Again, it might just be trying to represent a light cycle coming forth from the batons, but I'm not really sure. Very, very weird accessory there. He also does come with this staff, which a lot of people complain about because it isn't very nicely painted, and I do agree. I think it could use a little bit more paint apps, but I think it looks alright. It's obviously meant to be an extension of the baton. It has this nice kind of violent orange color on it, which I think is really, really neat. I usually give this guy, or this accessory, to the black guard figures, because I think it looks really, really neat. But yeah, so he does come with a bunch of accessories, which is nice. Again, I usually just have him displayed with the ID discs and the batons. I will warn you, putting the ID discs in his hands does cause them to kind of warp, so he doesn't hold the accessories as well as he should. But I found that if you dip his hands in hot water and then position them, because his hands are made of rubber, so you can position them without too much difficulty. If you put it in hot water and then shape it so that he holds his accessories better, and then put it in cold water, that does cause him to hold his accessories better than he would if you just didn't do anything after you took the ID discs out of his hands and then made him hold his accessories. But anyway, for some real quick size comparisons, I know I haven't reviewed him yet, but here he is next to a standard 6-inch figure, DC Universe Firestorm. So you can see he's more of an 8-inch scale when compared to 6-inch figures, but still very, very nice in terms of scale. It looks very, very nice next to all the other 8-inch figures, which is cool. And also, just for fun, here he is next to his 3 3/4 inch shelf, which again, I highly recommend both of these versions, but I think if you're only going to pick up one, pick up this guy, because I think this guy is cool. Again, I do still think that overall the 3 3/4 inch line is better because it does include more characters, and overall is a little bit better posed. Again, most of these guys aren't very posable at all just due to their gimmicks, but since he lacks the main gimmick of the line, which I'll get into when I review the Clue and Sam Flynn, there we go. When I review the Clue and Sam Flynn 8-inch figures, I'll get into the main gimmick of this line. But anyway, very, very cool figure. Overall, I highly, highly recommend it. So there you go, my look at Tron Legacy 8-inch Deluxe Line Rinzler figure. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.